seven, six, five, four, three, two, one.
And hello, everyone. How are you doing? It's Dave Bondy. I hope you can hear me okay. Keeping it real on Thursday. What's today? July 13th. So there's been a lot going on in the last day or two. We're going to get to that. We're also going to talk to Shannon from Moms for Liberty, the Wayne County, Michigan chapter. I wanted to talk to the national organization, but they've been really busy doing interviews on a national level. Shannon's locally here in Michigan, and there's also other groups throughout Michigan, Moms for Liberty in other counties. We'll tell you how you can get involved in that. And we're also going to want to ask her about what are they about, because you may have heard in the media that a lot of people, some people are slamming them, basically. The Southern Poverty Law Center even calling them an extremist group, when everything I've talked to, when I talk to them, they are just out for children, you know, having a good upbringing and a good life and education. That's what I'm hearing about. Also, after I talk to Shannon, I'm going to bring up President Biden just minutes ago just signed an order activating 3,000 troops, 3,000 active military to go to Europe. So I'm going to dig into that in just a little bit after the interview with Shannon. So if you're watching on Locals, paid supporters can watch the interview. So I encourage you to become a paid supporter. And if you're not, I will go ahead and, you know, put this interview out in YouTube in a couple days so everyone can see it. Let me bring in Shannon, if it works here. Let me get this right. Hey there. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Glad you're joining me. I'm up in Saginaw County. You're in Wayne County, Michigan. And Moms for Liberty. You've heard a lot on the news, but let me have you explain, what is Moms for Liberty?
Well, we are parents. We are Moms for Liberty's dedicated to fighting for the survival of America by unifying and educating and empowering parents to fight for their parental rights. And our unit here in Wayne is about a year old. We launched in May 2023, and it started because we were going to school board meetings and we weren't being listened to. So we just formed this group, and ever since then, we just been growing. And it really helps when you have a group of parents working together, supporting each other, figuring this stuff out, because we have questions and we're not getting transparency. And so when groups get together and do their homework and find out the truth about things, then we want to get the truth, and then we want to find solutions to help fix this.
And it's important to state, is your group Democrat, Republican, Independent, or are you just neither?
Well, we're nonpartisan. We're nonpartisan, and it's a non-political group. We do get involved with school board races because we want our parents to do that. And it just makes us look, you know, we can get together. We should have a working relationship with our public education. And so since the shutdowns and everything, it just seemed like we were shut out of a lot of things. So with that said, we just really are diving into everything now and looking at our curriculum and seeing the test scores. We're not very impressed. Our children are not doing well in schools. They have mental health problems, reading problems, their math proficiencies. So we're just really concerned. So that's just kind of what led us right into getting involved.
As you said, excuse me, transparency. In Michigan, for those who may not know, and you know this now probably, Michigan is one of the most least transparent states in the country. And being a news reporter, especially with school boards, there are a lot of good school boards. There's great administrators and great teachers. But I've found in my 25 years covering news, sometimes schools are the hardest to get information from, which it shouldn't be that way. And I'm not sure why that is, because they should be transparent. Everyone should be transparent. But in your year you've been doing this, have you found that, you probably talk to moms in other states, but Michigan, it has its own issues with transparency?
Yes. Well, personally, we have, what we do is we have district leaders in each district where they get a feel for their school board. And a lot of times when you work with your school board and you come to them with questions, you can email school board members and get these questions answered. You should be able to get it in an email or a meeting, set up a meeting with your superintendent and ask the questions, you know. That is what we want to do. And that's what we have the fundamental rights to be able to look at the curriculum. We want to be informed of what our children are learning because we're going to be helping them finish their learning when they're at home. So it depends on what school district. I've worked with so many that work so well with our district leaders and others that do not. So it's just a different district is different. So it's not just one district or another district. So it's very important to gain a respectful relationship. And if you don't get your answers from there, then the next step is doing a FOIA request, a simple FOIA request, which you can get the information because that's your right. So there's always these steps that you follow through this process.
Yeah, and I know the media tries to paint that, and you tell me if I'm wrong, that your group is only about LGBTQ, diversity, equity, inclusion. It sounds like you're about just education and information. You're not focused on those issues. It's everything.
Right. What we're concerned about our children's what they're learning in school, and why are their reading skills so low? Why are their math skills so low? What's going on with their mental health? Why is our kids so anxious all the time? There's these questions that are happening that we don't have answers to, and when we're labeled as these hate groups and things like that, it's just to just divide us. And we need unity. We need to work together for our children. We don't need to keep division. That's my whole thing about this whole process, is that we should have conversations together about this, because when you're just pointing fingers at each other, yelling and screaming at each other, no one is listening. you know so we really just need to have these conversations, and we're all human. We have the human rights. That's the Constitution. We have to just build on our liberty, our laws, that we have the rights to be who we are. So we don't attack or do anything with the LGBT community, because everyone has the rights. We just don't want others putting their beliefs on others. And that's just a mutual respect of each other. That's all this is.
Yeah, and you mentioned, for those of you who don't know, the Southern Poverty Law Center labeled your group extremists. And I want to play right now just a clip that I found in the media. It's really interesting. It's only 30 seconds.
Included in a study on hate and extremist groups by a civil rights organization. Washington's Brevard County Bureau Chief Scott Heidler spoke to both sides about the listing.
Moms for Liberty, part of a study of hate and extremist groups by civil rights watchdog Southern Poverty Law Center.
Their tactics are hateful, but I think that it's important to look at their overarching theme of just being against public education.
The SPLC has tracked over 1,200 groups that they call extremists. On that list, Moms for Liberty, which have been big advocates for parental rights in education.
So, yeah, you had that there. And I think the first report, quoting the Southern Poverty Law Center, is saying that you're against public education.
It doesn't make sense. It's just propaganda. It doesn't make sense. We're moms. We all came together to get answers, and we want the best for our children. We want to raise healthy children. We want our children to be out in the community, and they want them to grow and be successful in life. There's no hate around this. So this is just simple. I don't know why they attack us like they do. I have figured it out as I go on. Is that we are fighting for America right now, and just getting our voices heard is not as easy as you think it should be, and that should scare everybody right now. But we just have to come together and just work on this, because there is so much to lose here. Our children are our future.
Yeah, because it sounds like you're fighting for public education, because in the state of Michigan alone, so many thousands and thousands of parents have pulled their kids from school. They're homeschooling. Many are homeschooling. So it sounds like you are trying to at least save the school system, because there are some parents who have said, to heck with it, I'm done completely.
Yeah, that's true. Through the COVID-19, through the lockdowns, and then when we went to school with the mask, and people were not doing that. They didn't want to mask their children. I homeschooled my youngest one because I didn't want to put a mask on her in preschool. You want the best for your child, and homeschooling is an option. There's options. Online learning. There's so many options now for families, because the bottom line is most children, they're not all cookie cutter. Some families enjoy their homeschooling experience, some like the online. So this kind of opened the door for options for parents, really, and that's the school of choice. So a lot of families, they may do hybrid, what fits in their family and what their family, that's all about their family and their beliefs and how they want to have their child learn and what they want to learn. So
You're all about
that's it.
You're all about choices. If a family wants to
Yes.
stay home, if a family wants to private school, charter school, school of choice, you're sounding like basically you want choice and opportunity and freedom.
Absolutely. That's why we live here. Yeah.
Exactly. I'm going to bring something up that was, I don't know where this came from. Oh shoot, where are we? Share. Oh, wrong screen. I'm sharing. Sorry. See, I'm messing up here already. It's just shocking, the hate that you see from networks and so forth. When they do stories, they focus on maybe one Mom for Liberty person who said something stupid. But in essence, like you said, in Michigan, you have what, more than a dozen chapters?
Yeah, we have 15. Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay, let me now I'm bringing this up. Okay, and you've probably seen this. MSNBC did it about a Hitler quote with Moms for Liberty. And I think it was something in, I don't know where it was, Indiana or something. And the person obviously, well, I'll ask, does your group support Hitler?
Absolutely not. This is what happens is they'll turn things around and pick on us.
Yeah, and I bring that up just because
Yeah.
talking to you, you just seem like an average mom who wants the best for her children.
Yeah.
And let me ask you this. I would think every parent, from the left, from the right, all they want is their children to be happy and to succeed. I would think that's not political.
No, let's not make it political, but it is.
Is the problem the extremes? Like, there is an extreme left, there is an extreme right, but it sounds like you're someone that just wants some common sense.
That is me, common sense. That's why I'm here.
Okay.
I really, I've always been down the middle, fair is fair. And, I'm a, like you said, I'm a mom of 5, a grandma of 3. I have raised adults and I have little ones. So we've been through a lot through what's going on. And, our world is a lot different. Parenting looks a lot different now. It really does.
I'm live on my locals page, and I'm going to give you a link to YouTube. I'll put it out for everyone in a day or two. But someone wants to ask, and I'll throw it out there. What is the group standing on allowing transgender to use restroom showers not associated with their biological gender? I think I know the answer to this. Correct. Or what? Yeah. What is the answer to that?
So where do we stand to allow trans using
restroom showers not associated with their biological gender? Yeah, that's the question.
Okay, so they're going into the bathroom use. So
yeah, that's what makes that's what the mainstream media likes to focus on, but that's not your number. I mean, I don't want to say it's not your number one mission, but you talk about everything, and the reason I had you on is to talk about what you talk about. But that is part of it, though. But what is your take on that?
Well, we're gonna look at the safety here, and where people feel comfortable. We could have a private bathroom, where you can feel comfortable to go to the bathroom. To me, if I'm going to the bathroom with my daughters, and a man walks in, would be, kind of worried, but this happened to me. I was coming from home from the airport, and I had to go so bad off the plane, and I was racing for the bathroom. I accidentally went in the men's bathroom, and I saw those urinals, and I'm like, oh, I'm in the wrong bathroom. And the men, when they see me there, they just looked at me like, oh, there's a woman in here, and I just said, oh, sorry, and I ran out, and I was just so embarrassed thinking I ran in this bathroom, but, I don't know. The big thing is safety with me, if little girls are in a room and they may not feel comfortable, but it's a personal thing. I really don't think sharing men and women sharing bathrooms and a child in an education center in any facilities is really appropriate. I mean, let's be honest. There's been things happening in bathrooms that are alarming, and we should really be safe for our children.
Exactly. And I think a lot of people watching right now, and they agree with you. And if they don't, that's fine, because we're in America and they have a right to disagree.
Absolutely.
But this is something. I'm 48 years old. When I was younger, I would have never even imagined this being, and I'm not against anyone, but like you said, I'm someone that comes from, a moral fabric, and I just would have never thought we would have gotten to this point in society.
Yeah, here we are.
And I wonder how much of that is political. Are certain sides trying to stir it up, really?
Yeah, and it's just, I hate this. I hate the division. I really do. It all started with the masking, and people would just fight each other about a mask, and it just disheartening me. And I just think that us Americans, there's so many good people out here, and we just need to really respect one another's beliefs and just be kind and be respectful, and I do see more of that happening, but the hate and everything is just, it shouldn't be here. We're better than that, we're better than that.
The person that asked the question wrote, they want us to be uncomfortable to change our moral fabric. Every country, every culture has, I would hope, certain morals, and things have been changing in this country. But also, I send my kids to school. I want them to know math, science, history. I want them to know the bad history, the good history. But I want to know what's being taught. It does shock me that I don't know why a school would hide their curriculum or not be upfront about that. Because I know there's been lawsuits filed in Michigan against school districts for not giving out curriculum. Why would they not want to? I don't care if you're a Democrat or Republican, an independent. Right. That seems like common sense, doesn't it?
Absolutely. And, again, the parents, we are guiding our children's education. It's our fundamental right. So, for a school not to disclose what they're teaching a child, it's like, what are you hiding then? So that's really pushing kids or parents to move their children into other districts that they feel more comfortable in, going to charter schools, homeschooling. So I think public school should, they're really looking at this, they're looking at this, because they're losing their funding if the students are coming to their school, right? So there's so many more options that we have, but we do need public school, but we need to make sure that we're making sure the parents are involved, because ultimately that's what makes the child successful, is their parents.
So you are behind the effort for more choice, more school of choice, more. Mm-hmm. So when the media focuses on that one thing, they're not getting your whole message across. So your message is you are for supporting school of choice, homeschooling. You're not a group just focused on that one issue. You're focused on freedom. And that's why I wanted to have you on, to let people know what you really are about.
Thank you.
Because the media, we'll do a minute 30 on the controversy. And let me do this here. I'm going to do an experiment and put up on I'm going to Google Moms for Liberty, and I think it's going to show you
the Googles.
Yeah, I know Google.
I don't want to know. Hopefully some of it's good.
But I think to let people know how, the big tech and the media works at times.
Yeah.
Okay, I bring up Moms for Liberty. I hit news. Um, Moms for Liberty leads Florida school district to pull books. Let me see here. They letters to the editor. Florida school district removes 5 books. All of it is LGBTQ. It's nothing. That's all it is. And
Yeah.
there is some positive here about Moms for Liberty, but
Oh,
how
good.
how a U.S. Jewish group and the right wing Moms for Liberty shared a conference. I don't know. So it's just interesting how.
Yeah, I always invite some people to come to our chapter meetings. I've have great speakers. We're nonpartisan. Our last speaker was on mental health crisis. We had about reading challenges in the schools and dyslexia. We have things going on in our schools that we need to work on. And let's just stay away from the hate and the back and forth. We need to focus on our children. They need help. They need us. They don't need to have all this hate and going back and forth. That's what's stressing them out. This mental health is all this worry about our parents fighting over things like this.
So are you the organizer of the Wayne County group?
Yeah, so I'm the chapter chair for Wayne County. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you're the chapter chair of Moms for Liberty for Wayne County,
Mm-hmm.
and some would say your group is racist, you're against LGBTQ, all that, but you're saying that's the furthest from the truth.
That is the furthest from the truth, and the books and stuff. We haven't banned any books. We looked at the books in the summer a couple years ago, and we noticed the sexualization of the books, and we questioned it with the board, and some boards were, wow, these are a little inappropriate. Thanks for letting us know. Others were like, you know what, we're going to let parents, make the choice, and which is what we empower them to do if our kids get these books out. We just noticed, hey, we're seeing these influx of these sexualization of these books. Some of them were just, I looked at them and some of them made me cry. I was reading them and I thought, I don't want this, in my child's hands. And I just called the board and I talked to the superintendent. I said, there's these books I don't want my kid to get their hands on. So it's you just fill out a form, opt out, and there's no removing books or any kind. It's being transparent in what we want and letting them know, hey, did you know all these books are in? And some of them didn't even know. They were just as shocked, and others, they said, oh, here comes Moms for Liberty. They're going to,
they say banning books. Now, I did a story up in Cairo, Michigan, in the Thumb area, and there was a mom who did not want to. It was a library, a public library. She did not want them banned. She wanted them moved to an adult section. They were in a children's section. So I think a lot of times they say you're banning books, but that's not really. You're more about, it sounds like, to the appropriateness of the content.
Absolutely. I mean, our children's brains. I mean, this is the development of their brains. They shouldn't be seeing images of pornography, at their ages. It's not a good thing. Okay. So we, and as parents, we have to protect them, and we should. And we expect the school we're sending them to will protect them. So that is the biggest thing, safety.
How can someone, I guess, depending on where they live, like how can they find out if there's a Moms for Liberty in their area? Should they just, does the national website break it all down, or?
We do. If you go on to momsforliberty.org, you can scroll down and there's the map of the United States, and each state, you just hover in Michigan and it'll show you the location where you live. And if you don't have a chapter in your county, you can start one.
I just tried to bring up your website and it said not available. Hold on, here we go. Oh my. Okay, yeah, I'm getting different. Oh, different counties have different websites as well. Okay.
Yes, we have our own website. Wayne County has our own website too.
Moms for Liberty. Okay, let me bring it up just so I can show people, because I know there were moms that were messaging me as to how they could get involved. Let me share my screen here. I got this fancy software that I'm still learning to use. I should be
You're good.
I should be a technology guy.
We all got to learn.
Okay, this is the website. So
Yep.
you just go on and then scroll down.
Yep.
Oh, there you
There
go.
it goes.
Oh, so you could scroll over to Michigan.
Yes, look at all those gorgeous yellow black boxes. We need to fill Michigan with the gold.
Wow. And then I have people watching from across the country. So this is where you are across the country. It
Yes.
started in Florida, right?
Yep, it started in Florida, and then Michigan. Our first chapter in Michigan was Macomb County.
Oh, wow.
So
Wow. Oh, you got some pretty big cities: Chicago, New York, Philly, Pittsburgh.
yes,
Okay.
yes.
Are there more being added all the time? I'm assuming. It seems like
Yes.
you're growing.
Yeah, we are growing. There are always more adding. There's a process to be a chapter member. You have to do some things and, get things going. But they have a program that is so helpful. Hey, if I can do it, anybody can do it.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
here's
so
Wayne
so
County.
yep,
That's
that's
you.
us. You
Okay.
can scroll down. Yeah. We have a
Um,
website there, and our meetings. We do have an event. We're doing kids safety workshop, which is teaching kids on situational awareness and teaching them self-defense techniques, how to deal with bullying. These are things that children are really facing in the schools, is real things. So I have some local law enforcement, some resources, local resources coming out to teach those things as a workshop. It'll be a fun day to do. So that's in August. That's in Woodhaven.
wow.
Yep. And then also we are empowering to read the Constitution. Read your Constitution by September 17th. That's another thing we do is in our districts, we help distribute pocket constitutions to the 8th grade middle schoolers, so they each have a pocket constitution so they can read it on September 17th.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that should not be political. We're in the great United States, so that should be. Oh, someone just asked a question. Do you vet? Yeah, you do. They said, do you vet school board candidates and give recommendations? And I believe you said you do.
Yes, we do. In fact, the last election, we endorsed and sponsored some parents that got on their board. So it was.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
What about the people who are scared and they want to join your group, but they don't want to speak up because they're worried? Can they still join and be like
Absolutely
private? And okay.
Yeah, we have a lot of members that way, that they just want to be associated. They want to come and, learn. And then that's the process. And everyone steps out of their shell in their own way. So some people want to be loud and proud, and others want to just scale back and just wait till it's their time to shine.
How tough is it for you? Because I know I report all sides. I report bad things about Democrats, bad things about Republicans, bad things about independents, and I get yelled at from every side. How it is, I'm going to admit, it's brave for you to put your face out there, because you've probably gotten some pretty hateful messages over the past year. Maybe you have you?
Well, not personal,
That's good. That's
I
good.
don't, I'm just respectful of everyone. I don't put myself out there in a negative light. I do have problems where I try to do an event, where they'll groups will just kind of gang up and try to cancel me or something that way. But it really just shines the light on things, really. So I just try not to focus on the negative, and I focus on our real goals, and our children are important. So nothing's really going to stop us. I'm telling you.
And it sounds like more people are starting to feel that way, because our children, I tell my wife, I tell everyone, I would literally take a bullet for my 6 or 10-year-old. And if I had to stand up at a meeting and talk, I would do it, because I think we as adults, that's our goal, is to leave a better world for them.
Absolutely. You want your child, they have your heart, and you want them to just flourish out there in the world. And it's scary. And I think we're just doing a big disservice of our children if we're not preparing them for the real world.
I'm going to make this a little bigger, because people who are watching may not know, but I want to drill it in again. This is what your group's about: holding leaders accountable. Everyone should want that. Spreading awareness, limited role of government, oppose government overreach, that you think would make sense, promote liberty, engage on key issues, activate to public service. All those right there, those should be a nonpartisan.
It
If
is.
you were to go to a random person on the street and not say you're from Moms for Liberty and tell them, what do you think about all of these categories? I would bet that most people would say, yeah, well, some, but the media, when they put Moms for Liberty, there's almost a negative spin on it.
It is, but that's the media for you.
Yeah, and there's some good ones out there, but
Yes,
this is
absolutely.
what you do. Like you said, you are actually, kids about self-defense and bullying, those sort of things. So that's the message I want to get across to everyone. You are about more than just what the media talks about.
I know. We have so much more to talk about. We got work to do.
Someone's asking, is it a requirement to have children to join Moms for Liberty? So can you, if you're just an average, person without a child, can you still be joined?
Oh, we love all the help we have. I have many helpers that are just, they don't have children. They're aunts, uncles, have a lot of grandma and grandpas. So you don't have to have children. And, we're all a part of this together. The children are our future. So even when people say, I don't have kids in the school, I said, well, these kids are going to be your future, taking care of you when you grow old. So we all have to have our part to help them.
We will. And also they are shaping, society.
Mm-hmm.
They are shaping the morals, the culture, the government, because in 20 years, 30 years, Joe Biden, Donald Trump, they're not going to be around. We're going to have a whole new pack of leaders, and they're going to be these young people.
They are. We want to have leaders to move us in the right direction and not back.
Well, I appreciate you joining. I know I took some time, but I just wanted to get it out there about what you're about. And I'm going to put your website out there. Well, what's the best thing? I should probably put the national website and tell people that they can look up specifically what state and city then.
That would be a perfect idea. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I will do that.
Mm-hmm.
And I will send you a link out for this on YouTube. I put it up in a couple days. For now, it's on my locals community, which is kind of to help my journalism, but I'll get it out for everyone, including you, in just a couple days.
I will share it away.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for taking the time. And I'm going to try talking to you again. And maybe when I come down to visit family in your area, I'll come over and say hi.
Oh, yes. I'll love to see you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay, goodbye. Wow, amazing interview with Shannon right there. Awesome person, amazing woman, and that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to focus on what is this group. You hear so much about this group that they are racist, anti-LGBTQ, and just horrible people. Now, there have been horrible comments made by members of this group throughout the country. But the one thing that they are denounced by, the organization. Every group has bad people. There's bad journalists out there. But anyway, I wanted all of you to know specifically what they are about. And if anyone has any comments now, it seems like Joe, are you the only one watching right now? How many people are watching? It still doesn't tell me how many people are watching when I go live. So let me know if you're watching for the very first time. Let me know if you're watching for the first time. Type the word yes on the screen. Type the word yes on the screen if you're watching for the very first time. And 8 people watching. That's okay. That's okay. A lot of people watch this when it comes on the replay. So a lot of people are watching on the replay. But I did talk about something that I want to get to at the beginning of our show, that the Biden administration was activating the military to get involved in the situation in Europe. Let me bring this up on the screen real quick here for you. This is just happening as we speak. And let me bring this up here. This just breaking news just coming down literally before we got on the air. So I wanted to show you what is happening right here. Take a look at your screen. Reservists are set to deploy for Europe NATO mission following a new Biden order from President Biden. This just coming down moments ago. President Joe Biden signed an executive order that will allow the Pentagon to tap into reserve forces for deployment to Europe as part of its longstanding NATO mission. According to the news release, and I'm going to get it right here, this is the news release from President Biden. He is ordering up to 3,000 members, 3,000 reservists to be sent to Europe. And it's not saying exactly where they're going to be going, what they're going to be doing, but this is active duty. President Biden has activated several reservists in the United States to go to Europe. So I wanted to know what you are thinking about that as well. So if you have anyone who is a reservist, there is a chance, a possibility that they could be headed to Europe. Obviously, there's the ongoing situation in Ukraine and Russia and beyond on several fronts. So the Biden administration ordering the activation of up to 3,000 activating reservists in the United States. Just wanted to know what all of you thought about this. Let me know in the comments. And just wanted to bring that up and give you a heads up as to what is happening right out there. This happening just within the last hour. So a lot of people are concerned about what they're seeing. And a lot of people are fearing that this will get us into another war. And the United States being actively involved in a war is not what a lot of people want. I don't know why anyone would want us to be in a war. But anyway, okay, that is just happening. Let me take that off the screen right here. That is the new information coming out of the White House just a short time ago. Okay, we're going to wrap this up at 7:40 p.m. We're going to wrap this up at 7:40 p.m. So if any of you have any questions, please let me know right now in the comments. And if you're watching for the very first time, let me know where you're watching from. Let me know what city you're in or what state you're in. And I really appreciate you joining and being paid supporters on this chat. I really, really appreciate you being here. It means a lot for me that you are spending your money on my locals community. Joe is in Cleveland, Ohio. Joe, I am not a fan of the Indians. I'm sorry, they're not the Indians anymore. What are they? The Guardians? They'll always be the Indians to me. But I'm sorry that I'm not a fan of Cleveland, but that's okay. I interviewed there for a job once in Cleveland. Okay, 2 more minutes, and we are going to end the show. Let me see here, everyone. Any more comments? Yeah, so I am going to look into the situation involving President Biden activating the armed forces. Very interesting. Ryan, why Europe is the question. I'm not sure. I haven't had a chance to look at any other information. The only other information I've had to look at is the news release from the Biden administration. And this is the news release right here on the screen. It's to help Operation Atlantic Resolve. Operation Atlantic Resolve. Let's go Bucks, someone said. That would be the Pittsburgh Pirates baseball team. Yeah, so we don't know a lot about this yet. I'm going to continue to dig into this and get more information as we get it. So I really appreciate, once again, all of you joining me. If any of you would like to ask a question, we got about 1 more minute. 1 more minute, you can join me and ask your question, and I'd be happy to talk to you. I will, if you're not able, or if you missed some of the show, after the show is done, you will be able to watch it in its entirety. It will replay, and you can watch it when you want to watch it. And I encourage all of you to tell your friends about my locals community. You can watch it on Roku. You can get Roku on, or you can get locals on your Roku page on your TV if you have Roku, and you can watch us. You can just sit in your bed and couch and watch locals. But I really appreciate all of you doing that. DaveBondy.locals.com/support. I'm putting the link right on the screen right now. So if you are watching, I ask you to go ahead and copy that link that's on the screen right now and post that link on your social media and encourage your friends to sign up to my locals page, because we are continuing to grow. And I really appreciate you for being here. Well, thank you everyone for watching. I'm going to let you go. I will see you next time on Sunday. And Sunday, we are going to be having a historian on. We're going to be talking about the Electoral College. Big controversy going on about the Electoral College. There's a chance it could be eliminated, and the national popular vote could take place in the United States. The Electoral College, there's a chance it could go away, and we could have the national popular vote. Will this really happen? What are the chances? What's the history behind the Electoral College? We're going to have that coming up Sunday on my locals page with a historian, and I urge you to get involved and ask your questions. Talk to you later, everyone. Have a great day.